All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to be analysing Europe, the region that is really taking everyone's attention. Make sure to subscribe. If you guys watching for the YouTubes, subscribe. Vitality versus Gentle Mates, first up. They were the first semi-final championship Sunday, and we're just going to do a deep dive. You guys seem to really like the analysis of G2 and Cjcj, the NA final. I think we'll do all three of the EU finals and just talk a little bit about the top four from Europe, how they play, their tendencies and whatnot. Now, I think from my analysis, I think it's easy to, when you're watching these games, it's easy to sort of point out, oh, maybe if you just shot it into the top corner, then it'd be fine. Maybe if you just hit the ball. But we're trying to look a little bit deeper. We're looking at these four teams in terms of, I guess, their system, how they want to play. So we're going to kind of try and pick them apart a little bit and then seeing where it breaks down. So it's not just, if they just hit the ball, if you just challenge there, whatever it may be. We're not looking at these individual scenarios, yeah. I think that's something that coaches can sometimes fall into the trap of when you do replays, is to just look at, if, I'm going to pick a name, I'll say Radosin, but because he always gets flamed, but, if Radosin just did an own goal, or if Radosin just hit the ball there, we would have won. But it's sort of like, okay, well, why did we lose pressure? Why don't we have pressure? Why are we not playing the way we want to play? So we're kind of looking from that angle. You don't really get the full idea until you really dive into it. So I'm just going to dive in. Why do you know? And that's a great question as well from Aloe in chat. People saying, why don't you use that in game? I think it's better as just a viewing spectacle to watch like this. However, I've already thought about it. I've thought ahead. Aloe, it's a great question. For the second semi, just to break things up a bit, maybe change up the style for the video. For YouTube, I'm going to jump into the game replays. I've already got the in-game replays for KC taking on BDS, and one of the reasons for that is because I cast it, and I don't want you guys to listen to me have to cast. So, but I think it's just a bit more of a, maybe a better viewing experience for you sort of have more things to look at, cuts to the players and stuff. And if there's anything really crazy, we can always dive into the replay. But a lot of it you see from the director cam does a good job. It might be little things that you miss through this, which is sort of your third man spacing and stuff you don't quite see, because it's always sort of from a perspective of that second man coming in on the ball or the first guy on the ball. But obviously for EU, right, it's the four French teams. It's the year, feels like the year of the French domination, as if it wasn't last year as well. But yeah, really impressive for these four teams so far, and this was a real testament to these sides. I mean, the gameplay was incredible. So I'm looking forward to diving in. All right, we're going to really get into this. Compared to NA, who set up very, I want to say structured, but they kind of play very a default kind of style. Just look how active everyone is on the pitch at all times, all six cars. Look how they're always trying to look to stay in the play. You rarely see someone, I guess, completely dipping or giving up on a play, whether that's defense or offense. They're always looking to help each other out. Doesn't matter how much boost they have. So that's something to sort of look at throughout all of the EU finals, really, amongst the top four. Yeah, the challenge game is one of the biggest differences. I'm not going to turn this into an EU versus NA. That's an awesome shot. But it's just the speed, and it's not like how fast, I guess, they're moving. It's more about where they're positioning themselves, so how quickly they can attack on the ball. See, that's a bit of an early. This is, I think you'd rarely see this from Zen third man. Zen is a lot like Daniel in that he loves to let his teammates give him space. I mean, look at the signature shot goal where Radosin got the bump for Zen. I think you'd rarely see this from Zen last, but you see why Zen commits here third, right? Radosin looking for the bump on Cjcj already. So this is a play where Zen's happy to risk going because he feels like it's more likely than not that something's going to happen. Unfortunately, Alpha doesn't really get a reset, and it was almost like you could see he got called off for a fake. So Alpha turned it into a reset in case Zen didn't get it, and he actually just got to the ball before Zen. So you can hear right here, this is the classic Vitality. He's going fake, fake, fake. Zen wants to hit a double right here. I'll go for a top corner shot. So Alpha with 0 boost because he's saying he can't do anything right now. He's got 1 boost. He's calling for the fake, but Alpha can't get out away from the ball because he's got no boost. So he accidentally hits it. Zen was going for the quick double. So that could have been a goal. It was a fake call. Alpha faked it because he was saying he had no boost. Zen usually wouldn't come in there, but wanted to help out because Alpha had 0. Saw the opportunity. Didn't quite work out, and they could get punished for it. They should have got funny. That's a phenomenal save from Alpha. So that's the game that all teams are trying to play, right? It's a game of risk when you're playing on offense. It's how much do you want to commit that last guy? How much do you want to commit to this offense? And what could it cost you down the other end? See, look what happened here, right? This is not... I think, in my opinion, this is Cjcj's fault. And you might call me crazy here. And it also depends on how gentlemates want to play for this goal. But if I'm Cjcj in this situation, look, he's still grabbing mid-boost. Cjcj has fully bailed on this play. Now, Cjcj needs to realize that Cjcj is behind him in this scenario. He can easily rotate him behind, right? So, if I was Cjcj, and I know he's low. See, that's a problem. He's low boost. He can't really turn. But I'd want him to go first to force a touch for Cjcj. It's that classic case of like trying to be like G2, forcing a touch for the guy behind. The problem is he gets a demo and he's very low. But I'd still want him to put a hand up here. I want him to jump earlier. Because then Cjcj, look at the angle he comes across from. He just can't get anything on it. And Cjcj's still low boost in net. So I'd rather Cjcj, even if he has 30 boost. We can't quite see what he's got. He's probably got like 20 something. I'd still want to see him just grab a pad. There's no reason for Cjcj to jump this early. Like, look where Zen is right now with the ball, right? Zen is behind a midfield still with an air dribble. And I know you want to challenge early on these players, but right now, it's not an ideal situation already for mates. But what could make it worse is the only guy with 100 boost just hard commits. And this is Cjcj in this scenario. So right now, Cjcj they need to slow play this. Let Cjcj just put a hand up, get a challenge. Cjcj's in behind. They play it wrong. Cjcj comes across with 100 boost for, I want to say for no reason. He's trying to cover for Cjcj. Look what happens. It's a goal because Cjcjj can't get up to it. He's uncomfortable with low boost. It's a poor play there. It's a desperate sort of defensive play when it didn't need to be. But that's what Zen can do. Cjcjj might have thought he would demo out and get the... Yeah, he was looking for the boost. He didn't get the boost, but the fact is, it doesn't matter really in that situation. It's, okay, that didn't work. We need to set up, in defense. And they didn't get set up. But again, that's what Zen can do. Zen's in the air, everyone panics. Even if he's behind midfield with an air dribble, like he was there. So it's all about where are your danger areas in defense and where do you not want to clear the ball. Redosin with 100 boost. Firstly, the problem is no one challenges, right? So let's go back here. Redosin loses the ball. Zen comes in, stays on. Yeah, so there's a lot of mistakes here. Zen should not have flipped. Like, he made a mistake here. Redosin, it's not the end of the world. He sort of gave him the ball, but Zen here has to take a 50. He flips past the ball. Great fake from Itachi. But now here's the problem. Alpha should be challenging this ball. And look what he does. He fakes, thinking that Redosin's going to get a free hit. He doesn't. So it's again, it's the same as a G2 series that I talked about before. One mistake will never be a goal in a good system. 2 mistakes will always be a goal. There were 2 mistakes there. It was a poor clear from Redosin, but why was he in that situation in the first place is because Alpha was still under the ball and wasn't willing to just get a challenge in. He thought perhaps it was going to be a free hit for Redosin. They probably half-commed it. Maybe said, you go. Redosin said he had to wait for a touchy because he's on the ball. A double misplay from both of them. And look what happens. It's a goal. So 2 mistakes. 2 players make a mistake. Leads to a goal. Gentlemates play a lot of defense as well this series. And like, what's happened here? See, I mean, this again, I wouldn't expect from a very well-drilled, well-coached team that has been together longer than any other team in Europe at this point. That's what look what happens here, okay? So Alpha stays on the ball. That's fine. That is not fine. Where Redosin is right now with 10 seconds left, let's have a look. Redosin grabs boost. Okay, and now he's... I'm just not sure where he's trying to position. If you're second man, you want to be covering third, right? You want to be ready for every scenario. He's darting around trying to watch a clear to the corner. And Zen's also sliding up with 0 boost. So, again, it's 2 mistakes. I'm not sure why Zen's so pushed up third man in that scenario. And I'm not sure why Redosin is going to the corner. But yeah, that's rare from Vitality right there. And that can happen. It was probably because he wasn't expecting Alpha to be able to recover and get a second hit. He thought he was going to be the next man in, but they weren't really set up to make a play. There was low boost, and there we go. Vitality go for a Hail Mary kickoff here, which is, they scored from this before. I'm not sure if you guys saw what series. You guys might be able to tell me in Twitch chat, but you guys might be able to tell me what series it was. They went for a kickoff where it just wins a touch to the right, and you get a free one-on-one or a shot if the guy doesn't turn in net. So I'll pause it on the kickoff and sort of tell you what I mean here. So Alpha is just trying to slide this one to the right. You can see Zen. He's, what do they call it? A fade right, where you fake it and then it might have been the Cjcj. So yeah, there it is there. So Zen's he's expecting that ball to sort of end up on those blue stripes there. And they've done it. They did it twice in a row in another series earlier on in the weekend, but that just didn't work. But it's cool to see them go for those sort of kickoffs. It was very well counted, that kickoff as well, if you just back it up. Very well counted, whoever took that Cjcj. So I think he recognized that, yeah, he just went so straight on it. See, if he goes around, then Alpha can just push it across. But he just went so straight on it and really covered the ball. 5 kickoffs against Moist. There you go. I could really pull that up then quick. What up, Fibes? How we doing? Yep. So that's their kickoff, and they do it so often. So anyway, what I like to do when I do a lot of replays, and it sounds sort of counterproductive to just like, oh, just skip to the goals. But usually I'll skip to sort of the goals, and then I'll go back to, you know, why did they get on defense? Why did they lose pressure? And sort of work my way back from the goal, if that makes sense. Game 2, Gentlemates honestly just capitalizing on Vitality playing poorly. And this is why it's hard for me to say. A lot of people came away from this series saying that was the best series of all time, one of the best series. It's hard for me to say that because I think the first 3 games, everyone sort of has recency bias in a series, right? Where the last 3 games were incredible. First 3 games were not that great from Vitality. And I'll say that Gentlemates weren't really doing too much. You know, they weren't playing incredibly to beat them. It was just a lot of these mistakes here. So it's good pressure. Cjcj sitting downfield. Look at this from Itachi. That is so good, actually. That is so good from Itachi. Look at him fake the challenge. Force the hesitation coming through from Alpha. Just that little jump. Just that little jump was everything there in that offense. And that's just confidence to stay forward. So Itachi gets the ball, hits it forward, lands on in front of their backboard, and just fake jumps there. Alpha doesn't want to jump early then because he thinks Itachi's going to try and pop it. He's going to be passive. But then he goes again, another double jump. Juicy rotates front post. Again, staying aggressive with low boost. Mates get the goal. So just so smart there to get a little fake. It was almost like a bunny hop fake jump. There it is again. Like it's just, these fakes are just, I mean, it's only little. It's not like they get a goal here, but I mean, Alpha is just not even expecting that to happen. He could have easily 50 that or won the ball off Juicy and they would have been on the attack. He had 60 boost, but he wasn't even thinking about the possibility of a fake there from Cjcj. Again, mates are one step ahead. Great comms from them. And there it is again. I mean, it's so awkward for Vitality on defense. It's like they're not communicating. Should be another goal. That is ridiculous from Zen to save that. Should have been another goal, though. More misplays in defense from Vitality. They're all just so cramped up in front of net. It's a great touch. There it is again, though. Radosin is on an island by himself. Where is second man? Like, Alpha is just going second man, which is... I mean, he's not playing. I mean, they're 2 goals down, so you can see the aggression, but... I mean, Radosin's not even third. They just went. That's a tilted challenge from Alpha. That's just trying to force something to happen. So they're not playing well at all. This is why you have to call a timeout after this. They're not playing well. They're not playing as a team. They're not locked in. And that's what you see. A common theme for the top 4 EU teams for the most part is they all kind of implement what we talked about with G2 in my previous video with the NA final. But the problem is, in NA, G2 seem to be the only team that want to do it. Players underestimate how important it is to waste time when you have a lead. Exactly. Players, for some reason, just Rocket League for the most part, we're just addicted to going at the ball. we're addicted to seeing an opportunity and taking it, even if you don't need to. You could be 2 goals up, you could be a goal up, and third man still wants to go in. And you think, well, what's the point? It's phenomenal play on the counter-attack, but why is he last man? So this is what we do. We look at a goal, and we go, how did they lose possession? How did they lose pressure? And I've instantly paused it at a moment where they've lost the pressure. Why has this happened for the Gentlemates? Let's have a look. Touchy, controlling the ball. First man, beautiful. First man has the freedom to do whatever they want. And I mean it. Whatever they want. Second man, their role is to cover. Cover whatever the first man's going to do. Cover for third. It's not to necessarily always follow up on what first man's going to do. It's for the most part is to just be that sort of cover player and not have third under pressure. So now Juicy's turned into first man, right? But let's have a look what's happened. Let's just back it up a little bit again. So Atachi's gone. He's committed and he gets out through their corner. Lands on their corner. Doesn't grab boost because they just grabbed it. So now Atachi rolls in behind. Atachi's slow third, not ready to rejoin the attack right now. He's going all the way back for boost. He's still got 0. So now this is game management. This is scenario based stuff. This has to be. These are the comms that have to happen in this situation when you're on attack. They've got a free ball, right? Itachi 1 is, I can bet anything on it. He's saying that he's going deep for boost. He's going back corner, right? He's not in their play. So Cjcj as a second man, instead of sort of going into a follow-up role, has to go into I'm now a third man / cover role to give time for Itachi to grab boost and then rejoin the attack. But what does he do? Let's have a look. Look where he is right now. Itachi is still only just grabbing that corner boost. Cjcj is playing an optimistic 50-50 beat middle to get a goal. This is not a scenario where Gentlemates should be thinking of scoring. This is a scenario where Gentlemates should be thinking of keeping possession or keeping the ball in the opponent's half. But Cjcj instead either hasn't listened to Itachi's play or hasn't recognized his role in this situation where he should be back here, where this, I know I'm sort of pointing at a blurry screen right now, but you can see my mouse. He should be maybe just in front of the midfield line, right? Because then this happens. Look where Alpha hits the ball. Look where that ball is. He could have just popped that up, grabbed mid boost. He's back on the play. Itachi has 100. Cjcj can then, Cjcj's making the play. And then Juicy can either rotate through their net, get bumps, and they're set up again. So the fault there, I disagree that it's necessarily Itachi's fault. I think going back for boost is, for the most part, not something you should be doing. You should always still be in the play. But I think Cjcj there had a much, much safer option to just play a little bit safer second man and then keep it in. But again, we roll it back. Look what happens. He goes all the way back for boost. Juicy comes in, gets a 50, and he doesn't win the 50. But Cjcj this is just way too close first and second. Like, way too close. It's so optimistic. This is a situation if Alpha was last man or it was a 3-on-2 on attack to be this aggressive second. So, again, that's why we look at the goal, and this is what some coaches will go, oh, Itachi, you shouldn't have fake challenged there. You should have just gone. Or, you should have done X, Y, Z. Well, no, let's not look at the goal itself. Let's look at why they lost pressure. They would never have been in defense if they played that in the other corner a lot better. So that's what I'm looking for when I'm analysing and what I'd be telling Cjcj in that situation. I'd also be saying, Itachi, did you have to go all the way back corner? We had possession. We had a free ball. And then I'd be saying, Cjcj, did you recognise what you should have done in that situation? Which should have been playing a little bit safer because he had no one behind him. And they wanted to just keep the ball in so they could set up a 3-man offense again. I mean, look at this vitality kickoff. Again, it's funny because we'll see in game, at the end of the series what happens. But they do this kickoff every single time, and it is so easy to see what's going to happen, but no team really counters it. Almost a goal. Almost a goal. So you look at the difference right now in second man compared to what Cjcj did before. It's Zen right here. Alpha goes. Zen knows he's just got to cover for third. So he's instantly up and he's deeper so he can make a play on the ball. He's not here grabbing this boost where Cjcj was. He's just back enough and he's still got caught under it. He was still a little bit crept second, But he knew he had to go straight away. Look what he does. Get a touch on it. Release his... And look at the way they counterattack here, Vitality. Just look off this touch from Zen. How Radosin turns. Alpha turns. And they almost have a rugby formation. Passing across, double beat. And then they work up as a team. And then they sit nice and high, keeping pressure on. Almost a goal. So that was just an example of they could have lost pressure there if Zen was where Cjcj was in that last play. But he was just a little bit further back so he could still make an impact on the ball. He wasn't useless. He was covering more options. So why are you getting beat here and that's a goal? So what's happened here? What has happened? Let's have a look. Itachi pushes the ball forward. Let's establish who's first, second, and third. Itachi going first. Cjcj second. Cjcj rotating in third. Itachi goes first. Perfect. Cjcj comes across. Recognizing the midfield. But Cjcj last man is also... So it's very aggressive. They're down a goal. You can say they're going to change it up and switch to more aggressive style. But if you're going to go there, you cannot be getting beaten. You cannot be getting dusted in the corner. He's pushed up third. Every goal has come from a counter-attack this game for Vitality. So the difference between last game, Vitality were making defensive mistakes, and then Gentlemates were capitalizing. And now you see Vitality tightening up a little bit in defense. And you see Gentlemates getting a little bit too aggressive. This is a better looking Vitality in net. So how have they overcommitted again? Again, it's just too high. It's so obvious to see. But again, they're down 2 goals. So it's not like it's 0-0. Then I'd be seriously saying, what are you guys doing? Why are you being this aggressive against one of the best teams in the world? But they are down 2 goals, so they might change up the positioning. And you see it here, right? Cjcj knocks the ball forward. Itachi trying to work it down the line. There we go. Cjcj's up second man, trying to force. Instead of Cjcj being just behind midfield, ready to make a play on this ball, he's underneath the play again, crept. Forces him to come across, make a poor 50 on Alpha, instead of being able to shape up and use the width of the pitch or take it up the wall himself. Gets dunked, wide open net. So they position very, very aggressively, particularly Cjcj again, this time as third man. And it just put himself in an awkward spot where he took a bad 50, but they were 2 goals down. Are they trying to just, throw a Hail Mary at that point? I'd say it's not necessary. You still got a minute 40. But yeah. It's three counter-attack goals for Vitality. So if I'm Gentlemates going to the next game, I'd say let's just settle down a little bit in offense, and they'll have a lot more pressure. They'll be able to sustain their attacks, not just be one and done, which is what they're sort of doing right now. And really, that's the only thing they need to fix. Everything else is looking pretty good. Defensively is looking really good. They're just getting exposed in transition. Okay, and we get a kickoff goal off the bat. So, I mean, I don't know what's going on. Vitality with the best kickoffs. And that is I don't want to say it's lazy from Radosin, but it's just not being switched on. This should never happen. Radosin just tried to control that ball with someone around, just going, oh, you won't get a touch on it. And he has. He could have just got a harder pop around him. I mean, he had Alpha down the line as well free. So he could have just launched that down the line, and they could have got a 1-2 from the corner goal. But he's just done a lazy half touch, didn't really commit with a pop, thinking he had space, thinking Cjcj's got 0, he won't be able to make a play. Open net. So Radosin could have launched that at Alpha downfield with a corner booster, would have had early pressure, perhaps a shot on net. Lazy play, panic last moment, bad 50. It's like both teams trading between... Like, what is Alpha doing there last man? Again, what is your role, as third? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to achieve? What are you trying to accomplish? Let's have a look what happens. Zen tries to control it, does control it. Air dribble, easy as you like. Radosin's going for bumps. Alpha has to know in that situation, I'm third, I need a cover. He's watching a middle, he's trying to go for a pass. Again, incredibly aggressive here from Vitality, considering as well that they've only beaten 1 player. Zen's only beaten Cjcj. It's not exactly a 3-on-1. It's not like Radosin's bumping last. There's still another one back, presumably on the backboard. There he is. Cjcj's still back. So it's incredibly opportunistic, aggressive from Alpha to want to do that. Just trying to force it. And I don't know if that's a tilt thing because they conceded a kickoff goal. They're trying to force an early equaliser, but Yep, Johnny said it just there as well. You might not have heard it, but 2 infield passes to a third man. The first one wasn't an infield pass. It was just Radosin being silly. But that wasn't Zen's fault, I'd say. It's Alpha should not get sucked into going for that, knowing, because he could see everyone in front of him. That's a good fake. Can you do this deep of analysis for my champ games? Absolutely. Oh, yo. What's happened here? Okay, beat out. Huge challenge, firstly. And again, oh, man, Vitality were not playing well. I mean, just the aggression. I know it's Radosin, but Zen's controlling it. It doesn't mean he's going to beat 8 people on the ball. Just look where they both... Alpha is underneath Zen. Radosin's third, positioning like he's a second man. So Radosin here should just be chilling, just in case, just covering. And look what happens. You never want this situation where 2 players, your last 2 players, neither are facing the ball, both having to backtrack onto it. So that clearly means that someone's crept. In this case, it has to be Radosin. Alpha was under it, trying to play an underneath second. But again, they were both crept. And look what happens. It's a poor touch because they're scrambling back. He's not positioning well. And now he's low boost because he was trying to get back. Poor clear. Alpha isn't set up either. Goal. Again, Vitality just creeping. And Zen will be saying that. What are we doing? All Zen did then was just get a nice dribble out of net. He got dunked. Fair enough. Should they have lost possession even off that? No way. So now this is a turning point in this series. A turning point of, one of 4 turning points, you could say. Instead, again, so many coaches here, when I say so many, would go, Cjcj, you should have been, let's have a look at why they lost pressure. So you need to go further back. So Cjcj first man, right? Problem number 1 is this miscommunication between first and second man, where second's looking for a pass instead of covering. And again, I think that, and people can have different ideologies of what second man should be doing. But generally, if you've got 3, this is kind of my thought process, right? If there's 3 players still in net, second man, obviously we know second man is the next guy to follow up. So obviously Cjcj on the ball is the first man. If there's 3 players in net, second man should more often than not just be trying to cover first man and cover third, right? Because the worst thing you can do in this situation, there's 3 back, is to overcommit first and second, and then all of a sudden your last guy not only has to make a big play, big touch, or buy time for the other guys, or they're getting 2-on-1 bumped. So what Itachi does wrong here, in my opinion, or what Cjcj might have done wrong, is he's scared of throwing the pass, but Itachi's only position for the pass. If this doesn't come off from Cjcj, this fake into another play, you're just completely isolating Cjcj. And that's what he does. He goes for the solo play, but there's 3 back. Even a fake it's not going to do much because they're all set up in net. A fake could work if there was 1 or 2 left. But there was 3 set up. He goes to the fake instead of the pass. It just leaves Cjcj last. He's in such an awkward spot. He's not expecting a beat. He's expecting his second man to be able to cover him, and they concede. So I think that's just a poor play to try and make, given they're not really doing anything. And what I mean by that is, say Cjcj makes this pass, right? They're almost committing 2 players to the play to beat 1 man, right? So there's still 2 players back in net. And if this doesn't come off, if the pass isn't great, if the shot isn't great from Itachi, all of a sudden 2 players are out, 2-on-1 counter attack. So it's just not the right play from Itachi to positioning for the pass there, but also for Cjcj to fake it. If they're going to do it, is kind of what I'm saying. But 2 mistakes. Itachi positions for the pass, and then Cjcj thinks better of it, worried about a dunk, and then it just leaves Cjcj on an island. Oh, just too much speed, and look at the dunk and the beat as well. I mean, that is just Radosin at his best. This is world champs Radosin of just being annoying. Look at this. Gets 1 touch, just goes again, dunk, goes again, dunk. I mean, and this is what G2 do. just let first man do whatever first man wants to do. So there's a crossover there. But this is one of the best first men in the world when he does it well. And look, it can hurt Vitality sometimes, the random stuff that this man does. But when it's good, Radossin is the sole reason for this goal. I mean, just look at it again. 50 on the wall. W key, lands off the backboard, pre-flip to get the dunk. Look at the space it gives. No one's ready. Radossin's challenged 3 people in the matter of 1 second. Gives a free backboard. No one's set up at all. That is so good. I understand it's a great pass. It's a great shot. That is all Radossin there. Yeah, it's about, and Rocket League, that's all it's about, is creating opportunities. You might score on your first one, you might score on your 50th one, but the idea of a perfect Rocket League team is it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which one you score with. You're not going to get punished. You haven't overcommitted for one chance. Does that make sense? Look at that. Look at the cover on the jump. This is so nice from Itachi. And what a 50 as well. This is what you do. This is a low boost gameplay at its finest. He's got 50, but by the time he makes his first play, cuts it around Radossin, really good. Recognize that he wants to turn up wall. He's trying to watch that wall challenge. But this is just even better. He fakes the wall, but there's no point in him hitting it up the wall. He's got 0 boost. He's not going to be able to follow it. Zen has 100 boost. Zen almost wants him to hit it up there. So Zen's going to turn infield and goes, gimme that. Gimme that wall right now, buddy. I want that, because he's going to have a solo play. It's free. He knows Itachi's pretty low. What Itachi does? Fakes, jumps up, almost to show that he wants to go a little delayed hit around him. Zen goes, oh, he's going to watch it. Look at Zen turn left. Zen goes, oh, you're going to hit that up that wall, and I'm going to get a dunk on you and take that solo play. Itachi, delay. Zen realizes last second at this point, hang on a minute. This guy doesn't want to hit it around me. This guy wants to go straight. By this point, see you later. 0 boost. He wins the 50 so hard because Zen committed to the wall touch. And look where the ball goes. I mean, it is just beautiful. That 0 boost play completely relieves pressure off the team. They're out of defense for now. Gives Itachi time to set up. And now they can set up better, whether they're still on attack or not. Just 0 boost at its finest. And that's the little mind games. Just something to pick up on. And look at that. Juicy gets the ball off it. So good. It's 5 head. It is 5 head, and that's Rocket League. That's like the beauty of Rocket League there. Just maximum value with the boost that he had. He made the absolute best play he possibly could. Look at this situation here, right? Juicy gets absolutely dusted. Itachi just sits back in net. He's just gonna let it happen. Whatever you got, Alpha, I'm going to try and cover as much as possible. He's not pre-jumping, going, oh, he's going to hit it top corner. He just waits, then sees his time. As soon as Alpha leaves the ball, Radossin thinks, oh, he's going to be panicking net. Touch is ready. They almost get the counter attack. If that touch was a little bit more towards Juicy, would have been phenomenal. But Zen, fantastic first man. Best first man in the game. Right there with Daniel. Gets right in there. Almost gets a goal with the follow-up. So that's fantastic positioning from Zen to get that chance. Just didn't get the goal, couldn't get the dunk. So what's happened here for Vitality? Let's see the panic. 0-0, 17 seconds left. Alpha, poor clear. Radossin, again, what's the Vitality way? It's very similar to G2. Help out. Help out that guy that's last. Help out that guy that's back. But there's no one there. There's no one there. He is, I want to say it, this man right here is dead set pooing himself. And happens again. There's no need for him to jump here. He could have just caught this on the backboard and taken a 50 with a touchy. But look how early he jumps. Just look at what happens again. Radossin, challenge. Radossin, no one's there. Pop up. Could have caught it. Jumps off the wall. And just, yeah. That should have been a goal. And Zen's pre-jumped going, we're about to be in trouble because this guy's going again. And made a great save. Great fake challenge from Alpha. Phenomenal second man play. It's a lot better than last time. Very smart. Radossin puts it down. He needs an overtime. It's great work keeping it close. Look at that. I mean, the fact that Radossin is back for that just shows... we watched the first 5 games, ladies and gentlemen. There is 0 chance that if this was a normal situation, that Radossin would be back here. We can all agree. But, I mean, this is what there's a reason why this overtime went for 6 minutes. Because the positioning is just completely different from both sides as soon as you get to this sort of situation. Everyone plays much safer, much deeper. Second man is completely covering third. I mean, Alpha's nearly back as second man for this situation. And they played at slow 50. It's not like it was a quick counter-attack. So, there's a reason why it goes 6 minutes. It's not exactly like... I think an overtime 6 minutes is completely different from a regulation, 0-0 game. Because, in a regulation game, both teams are playing a little bit more aggressive. But as soon as next goal wins, it just completely changes that mindset. It's all mental. Which team's willing to, though, push outside of it and push forward? Cjcj leaves it, goes for a challenge. That's fine. Gets beaten. Cjcj, in a normal situation, is 50ing this ball up the wall with the 100 boost. But look what happens. It's 6 minutes into an overtime. He goes, oh boy, I cannot go here. If I go here, we are in big, big trouble. He's not thinking twice about this. If this is another situation, he's going to take a nice 50, and he's not going to get dunked. He's not going to lose a 50 that bad, but it's just an overtime. He's thinking about the what ifs. He's thinking about the fact that he's last. Goes to play safe, and his other mistake was going so deep into the corner. So look how Radosin gets so far alongside it. And Cjcj still goes. So it's poor shadowing, but he should have just challenged. But there you go. Look, Radosin, he can make some mistakes, but he can also do this. All right, game 7. And look what happens right off the bat. What kickoff have we talked about throughout this entire video, throughout this entire series? It's the Vitality special. It's the close cheat to the right side or left, depending on where the corner's going, depending on where the kickoff's facing. And to do it in Game 7, Gentlemates have to be wary of this. I feel like most teams will be countering this by the next kickoff, but again, it's like teeing the ball up for second man to come through. Bang, turn, goal. Phenomenal start to the kickoff. Cjcj just plays a little bit slower so he can get a hand on that. Otherwise, they've done the exact... Cjcj, they've done... Gentlemates unbelievably nearly just completely threw this game because Cjcj did the exact same. He turned upfield after just seeing a goal go in due to third man turning upfield and second man not being ready. So that could have been 2-0 for Vitality. Exact same kickoff, almost worked, but he just got a touch on it. And look where the 50 goes. So, I mean, Gentlemate's very, very lucky. That's poor from them. Look at the setup here for Gentlemates. And he's got a pass. Ooh. Great cover, though, from Vitality. This is phenomenal defense, his last 2 minutes. Oh, if that got a beat through, Zen was waiting for Alpha for the hit. Look at that, though. Go back for us, please. Huge dunk from Cjcj. Cjcj under the ball. Great first touch. Changes the angle. Goes lateral with it, so there's no chance that Radosin can get there. Bump comes through from Cjcj. 0 boost. Still trying to stay involved with the play. Means Radosin's slow on the wall. Perfect. Perfect. Now what happens? Just speed and trust. That's all it is. Zen, again, is sitting in the hole this time. The pass is directly at him. It's above him. And Cjcj, this is a difference. This is a situation where I'm saying if this is a general scenario, that it's 0-0, Cjcj's probably not pushing up. Cjcj, you would not want to pass the ball to the third man here. You got 2 guys rotating back that are both going to watch it. It's risky. Radosin can counter-attack. But you're 1-0 down. If you're going to hit it, has to be full trust between both players. That's what you get there. Great speed. Had the momentum. You're always going to outpace someone sitting under the ball. Fantastic pass. Okay. It's a really good setup. That bump could have come through. Wow. Still was a goal. So you're seeing both scenarios here of just aggression from third man. Zen pushing up so high. Look how fast he was. Last man just happy to go. That's a risk. That's kind of like it's a game of risk you play. How hard do you want to commit? Zen just backed himself in. And there it is. I mean, do I need to analyze this? Do you guys know who made mistakes and what they were? Firstly, I'm not sure what Radosin was trying to do on that kickoff. It kind of felt like he was trying to lose it back, but he did the complete wrong thing. Zen, it's not the worst cheat in the world. Cjcj hard cheats. When you're both hard cheating, it's about who loses a kickoff. They lost it. Itachi again, fantastic kickoff. But there's a man over here that turned upfield when you're 1 goal up, 10 seconds left. It's a brain fade. It's a brain fade. Because Radosin, it only makes sense to do this, right? And you could still do it in this scenario. I know, call me crazy. You could still do it in your upper goal. But Radosin is trying to kill the ball this way. So why on earth would Alpha be pushing up as if they're trying to lose or pinch the ball across? So because of that, it shows that Alpha clearly, and as you can see on the screen, stuffed up. He turned upfield. He auto-piloted the kickoff. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure how. For Vitality of all teams to do it. This, again, this is what I can't explain. Because for the first, as I said to you guys, Vitality are the best kickoff team in the world. But they've done 2 of the worst kickoffs I've ever seen. Back to back. Itachi kills back corner. Radosin gives it to him. I mean, look at Itachi. He's turning his... Again, I'm sorry, I don't have the replay. We're watching this on helicopter cam. But Radosin pushes it left. He just gives him the back corner. Radosin flat out, he flips left, pushes left, instead of going left, pushing right, and hooking across it to kill it. And gives Cjcj the ball. And Alpha turned upfield again. And now look at him. He's facing us. He's facing us. This guy is horizontal, trying to challenge this. There's no way he's getting that ball. Zen's in trouble because Alpha did nothing to get a beat. And there's a goal. So it goes to show, even at the highest level, ladies and gentlemen, kickoffs are absolutely crucial. Absolutely crucial. And you have to be locked in. It's not just winning a kickoff. It's not just planning for the scenario you guys want. It's planning for the scenario that the other team wants. In that situation, you just got to be ready. So there you go. It was, to sum up that series, the first 5 games, defensive mistakes. Defensive mistakes from both sides. It was rough to watch. But quality pressure from both sides as well. Got them the goals, forced the mistakes out. Gentle Mates, when they were aggressive, it really paid off for them. They took it too far when Vitality started coming back. Vitality got a free game from 3 counterattacks. And that was just Gentle Mates over-aggressing. They decided to lock it down a little bit more, and they got back into the game. Vitality sharpened up. The overtime should have gone either way, could have gone either way. We saw missed opportunities, missed goals. And then Game 7, Vitality should have won. They were the better team in Game 7. But what happens is 2 kickoffs. So you got to make sure you're locked in, and they'll never do that again, I'd say. Fairy Peak will ensure that. They're too good of a side not to do that again. But congratulations to Gentlemen, they move on. Vitality, that's Regional 1 for you in a nutshell. What Radosin's done, they should have been in the grand final. But Gentlemates really did nothing wrong. They also deserve to be there, and they probably handed Vitality a couple of games that Vitality didn't deserve. A really even series, a fantastic last 2 games, one of the best overtimes in terms of just opportunities, close, 6 minutes, and then at Game 7, it was a clown show. But good fun, entertainment at its finest, and hopefully you learned something. You guys in the stream, you guys watching at home, hopefully you guys learned something about both sides. Thank you all.